Well, we're out here on the soybean field in our first generation farm in Gage, Kentucky, and I was looking at the crop calendar, and we still have time to get, possibly some barley in the ground. And we just harvested this. We made a decent amount of money. It was about $24,000. And I want it bigger. I want the field bigger. So I was looking at our property line. This tree line right here really does separate us from our neighbor's field here, which you can see. I think I have a beautiful grass. Well, it's actually alfalfa field here. Looking really good when it's just got cut. So coming back onto our property, we walk way this direction, and my long-term plan is I like these two trees. This tree's got to go, that tree's got to go, and then I want to keep our original path. So we do have, that area way out there that we could go that direction as well, but I think what I want to prioritize is keeping it closer to the property line. So these two trees, it's where we want to kind of create a little path that goes, or a line that kind of goes to this tree. So let's turn around so you can see that. So we'd want the field to come out this way and then start jetting back here as we just kind of constantly walk. And I want to do this live for you guys so you can really get an idea of how big this property is. That large alfalfa field, but just so many trees. So we need all these trees gone, but we're going to need more. We need different equipment for that. I can't do this by hand with the trailer. We're going to need something with a grapple to be able to pick up these trunks. But, keep constantly, keep walking. We keep walking. We get this somewhat clearing here. And through this extra set of shrubs, we should show up to the garden about right here. So kind of thinking from here all the way to that field is where I want this one to be long term. And we're definitely thinking about expansion at this point. We proved that we can do it. Now it's stepping up our game with all of this land here that we could take advantage of. So it's October still, October 2nd. We got a little bit left in the month. We could get some barley in the ground if we move somewhat quick. Now tackling this entire space, I don't think would be wise. So what I'm kind of thinking is if we get rid of this tree, this one, I probably want something to mark these with. Let me see if I have something in the shed. Yeah, this will work here. So let's go ahead and I think we'll spray this. All right, we got that one marked. So we know we want to get rid of that one. We're going to keep those. Come over here. Just really make a plan. Get that one, this one here, and this should bring in a ton of money, but we're gonna have to make an investment today to be able to move these. Go with this one too, that one as well, and I think that's one on the border. We want to leave that one, and then we'll go with one more, or maybe two more. We'll go right here. Oh, we marked that one already. Did we mark this one? I'm getting lost out here, guys. Getting lost. Yeah, we marked this one. So, yeah, we definitely want to go a little bit further back. And I think, yeah, these two would be good. Right there. And, again, I'm getting lost. And that one. That's going to be the plan. I am going to take a look at the used market around town and see if there's anything that we could, purchase that would help us be able to load these. But, I think kind of excited out here. Let's get the chainsaw out. Should be able to... Oh, that's going to be close to the trailer. But these should bring in good money, too. Once we're able to chop them down into small enough bits. Don't hit the truck. That was close. Let's kind of clean this up and see what we're working with here. I mean, we might be able to pull something off here for this first one to help us get some money. Let's try something. This might be pretty risky, but I want to give it a shot. We're going to have to lower the ramps to try to pull this off. And hope we don't dig into the ground too much with those ramps lowered. Now, is this going to just slide? It does. Look at this. It's straight like this. And that's about as far as we're going to be able to go. But I think... Now we come out here and I just cut right here. I mean, that's going to be a lot of weight dropping. Okay, it seems okay. Seems okay. Okay. That was pretty risky, though. I do want to find out, though, what this by itself is going to bring in. So let's go sell this, and then after that, I'm going to look at the market and see, you know, if we can find something around town that's used that fits in our budget. We got, you know, gosh, we could spend $18,000 today on something, knowing that we're about to make a lot of money, and this will give us an indicator of how much we potentially could make today if we get through all of those trees, if we have some equipment that helps us along the way. All right, let's see what they say about this just big, huge, gosh, ginormous trunk here. That was $3,000. Okay, this is the way. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the market, see if there's anything around on Facebook, or, you know, at the co-op does, you know, have their used equipment as well. So I'm going to head in the house, get on the computer, and I will let you know what we find around town. That's a sign. And that's bad driving. Took some hunting, but I found this JCB at the co-op. They, you know, I had a long conversation with them, telling them exactly what I was trying to do, and they absolutely felt like this was probably our best option, you know, for the size of trunks that we're dealing with. So we're gonna use this JCB, and I should be able to, you know, grab onto these. No, I think it'll be fine. We just got to get these chopped down a little bit better. But I think this will assist us. So it costs about $6,000. We have it rented for the entire month of October. So, you know, I don't have to rush this, but being that I'm hoping to make a decent amount of money off this, especially off of what we just saw there, I potentially want to get an upgraded tractor and a seeder as well. You know, we're going to expand this field. I got to say, something clicked, guys. Something clicked after doing that harvest, and I feel way more confident that we can pull this off. So I'm wanting to expand. You know, we know we can grow a crop. We know we can successfully harvest it now with the equipment we have. But that equipment's only going to, you know, go so far with the size that it is. And I think it's time to, you know, really, you know, work on expanding and work on growing this farm a little bit. And I was going to wait until spring, but I can't stand right there. What am I doing? We're going to drop this on our head if we do that. That's going to fall potentially, maybe. Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, just kind of feeling confident in some of these decisions we've made that we can progress, and it's time to do that. I think we've done the baby steps, and like I said, I was going to wait till spring, but we've got time before winter really hits, and the fact that we could get a crop in and have, you know, the harvest of the wheat in the summer, and, you know, in late summer, harvest some barley if we plant that in this field. I think it's a wise decision. And we'd still have plenty of land to expand to after that. So I'm going to finish getting this tree chopped up and loaded. You know, we made $3,000 from the trunk already. See what we make off the rest of this tree. Hoping this one tree pays for renting that. Getting a little outrageous. I didn't think it was going to be this much from one tree, but boy, it is. So we're going to have to make multiple trips per tree, it looks like. Let's go see what the rest of this tree is going to bring in. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty good payday. And that's just tree number 1. Okay, we've arrived here. Oh boy. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. 6,300. We've made about $10,000 just from that one tree. We're going to bring this stop sign with us, but we need to start getting focused to make more money because I'm eyeing a tractor and a seeder like I mentioned. I'm going to get busy. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, it's been a couple days. You can see our dollar amount is up to $87,000. I have returned the rented telehandler, and this is the last of the trees that were taken in to get sold. It's been quite the couple days, and the budget's looking amazing. Like, really tempted to keep going and completely get out of debt. But I think this is the best choice right now. Definitely eyeing a tractor and seeder. I think we've pretty much proven that we can afford it at this point. And just kind of eyeing the rest of this property. And boy, I know the trees will run out eventually, so it's not the wisest thing to try to spend all the money on that. But we've got our dollar amount all the way up to $90,000 by clearing that. And let's get back there and I'll show you everything that has been removed. You know, pulling in here, it looks so much more wide open here. We did leave that tree. We're gonna, we can make money off of it later, but plenty to kind of grind over here like we were talking about. And go all the way back to that tree line back there. Man, I am excited. We are going to have our buddy come in. He's on his way right now with the skid steer that we did the favor for last time. I'm going to pay him $3,000 this time. There's a lot of stumps out there, and they're big ones. So we're gonna give him a nice payday for that. But I'm heading in, looking at a used tractor and seeder. Let's spend some of this money. They've rolled out our first purchase of the day, and it's going to be the John Deere 4240, our first purchase of the day. So they're pulling out the seeder we're gonna get to, but this thing's looking pretty awesome. I think this will work good. It's got 124 horsepower. Big upgrade for us, but I think it fits the farm well. Well, I think we're gonna have an issue. So I'm gonna, well, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to drive this back myself. And then we can get the seeder on here later on. Definitely have to have my wife drive me back, though. So we'll get this home first. Cozy in here. We did the open cab, but, you know, it would have been a lot more money to get a closed cab. But this is a good start. I think this will work pretty good. You know, we could add some upgrades to the tires, some weights eventually. Maybe some... I don't know what we could do. A lot of different options on this thing, but it does come with a front loader. That guy just hit us. It does come with a front loader setup. We didn't buy the front loader yet because you don't need it yet, but we will get it eventually. Are you just messing with me now, guy? Yeah, we'll get this home, then we'll get that seeder purchased, and this is a slow drive. I'm only going 20 this whole way. Festive out here. We got some pumpkins out. I love it. Getting real close to Halloween. How you doing, officer? Decoy officer. Starting to realize how spoiled we are with that fast truck and the four-wheeler as well. We're almost there, though. Been eyeing this property. You know, nice neighbor. I'd love his field. You know, I'm starting to get hungry here with actually, I'm getting hungry, but wanting to expand as well. All right, we made it. Get that ride back from the wife and get that seeder. Well, we ended up spending another $14,000 because I wanted to expand our size of our cultivator, or get a cultivator and this seeder. So we're gonna get this loaded up and get it home and get to work. Took a couple trips, but we are back home finally with our new equipment. And we're going to start making this new field absolutely right away here. Just kind of back up a little bit. Just kind of cruise forward here. Man, lovely at 9 miles an hour. This is going to absolutely change our world. Just cruise, you know, somewhat close to the tree line, but I do want to, you know, notice that these branches are hanging over. So let's go ahead and go away from that. Don't know if we'll have a problem with the harvester when it comes time to harvest because of it. And boy, this is doing a great job tearing up the ground. And this is as far back as we got. So this will be a nice expansion to start with. Like I mentioned, this is just like, you know, phase 2 of this field. And we'll be able to loop back here now. And there's our path. So this is, you know, absolutely, we want to keep that path going. You know, not a huge upgrade in the field, but I think this is good for this year. And yeah, I'm so glad we got the seeder. There is no way I'd want to do this by hand. I think we can just kind of lift this and turn around and do the same. The nice outline going. You know, now that I'm out here with like real equipment, the expansion doesn't feel as big as I thought it was going to. But I think it's a start. I still think it's a start. And boy, does that money go fast when we're buying this bigger equipment. My goodness, we are learning. You know, had $90,000 and it is just gone super fast. I do still owe $3,000 to our buddy that took care of the stumps for us. So I'll be getting that money sent to him fairly soon here. But it still gives us a decent cushion to get through winter and spring before we're going to be able to make a little bit more money and get our garden back up and running and I think we're gonna hold off on this grass until spring as well to make some hay after winter. All right, time to get focused, get the inside of this done. We can get to planting. Yeah, and this should do it for the expansion. I am going to cultivate the rest of this up just because, you know, I want it to look consistent. And I have a feeling if we don't, when we go to plant, it might look a little weird. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here just kind of going around the field and getting it looking pretty. And then we're going to get hooked up to that cedar. Absolutely. I think that looks much better. Let's get this put away. You know, the thing with the amount of things that we purchased today, I was able to talk them into preloading the cedar with seed and fertilizer. Man, when you spend that much money, it seems like you get rewarded a little bit over there at the co-op. They like to work with you at that. Now, we did spend a lot of money. My goodness. We're definitely going to need another shed here soon. And I'll be looking into that in the spring and figure out exactly where I want to start building out like a decent farmyard too. Where the chicken coop's going to go. Potentially, if we get brave enough, we'll be looking into cattle as well. A lot of options. I just have to lower this, and it looks like it's working. So we'll just start cruising around here. Get some barley in the ground for the first time. I think it'll complement our wheat pretty well, and we'll learn, you know, which one's going to actually pay us better. But also getting this fertilizer in the ground is going to absolutely help as well. We'll have to do another application of fertilizer sometime in the spring as well. We'll probably do that at the same time when we have to treat the wheat field, but I definitely want to look into possibly selling some more trees so we can buy a decent spreader. And in the summer when we flip these fields, we're going to absolutely look into treating the ground with some lime to really improve the quality of our soil. Not bad for our first time planting with a real cedar. And we'll figure out a better pattern to go. That was a little chaotic the way I did that. And pushing around some of this leftover tree as well. I hope that's not damaging the cedar. It kind of just slides through it. All right, but let's get this back home. We're going to get on the farm mall. We have a farm mall back there. And we are going to spray for weeds. Absolutely running out of storage locations. We're going to need some more sheds or another barn very soon. All right, that'll live there for now. We made our payment to the farmer that took care of the stumps for us. That was $3,500. Then we spent a little bit more money on herbicide as well. So we're below $30,000. So We spent a little bit more than we made today, which is kind of impressive if you ask me. There's a lot to be made. The only thing that's left is to just cruise around this field and spray it for weeds. And then we'll let it sit till spring and treat it again with some fertilizer. But boy, we've come a long ways since being laid off and being replaced by AI. You know, our original plan was to survive off our land, and I think we've proven that we can do that. And I think as we, you know, start getting into our second year in spring, we're going to try to prove that we can thrive off of it, not just survive. Chickens come in, maybe some cattle, more field expansions, more equipment upgrades. We're going to turn this first generation farm into a real long-term investment for our family. Have our kids take over eventually. I love the way it's tracking, guys. I'm going to shut off the GoPro, and I'll see you in spring. I'm Socksway Up. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next one.